I went for Umrah. I didn't consume any meat.
Does that make you a bad Muslim?
No, it doesn't. These are personal choices which people have. Nowhere in the Quran does it say that you have to eat meat to be a practicing or a following Muslim. A lot of people say, oh, vegan diets are very unhealthy. आपका protein कम हो जाएगा, vitamin B12 कम हो जाएगा.
No, 8 years, my blood test is like 100 and 100.
Yeah. Do you realize there's like blood in your milk?
It's exactly as you said, because that's where it's coming from. It's not humane. You know, people think you're not killing the cow in the process.
You're killing her every day.
What do you say to people who say that, oh, but I make sure that the calf has had the milk and, you know, it's just the excess that we take?
Would you feed your breast milk to a calf after feeding it to your child? That's how crazy it sounds to me.
I love that you're talking about something you feel clearly so passionately about.
I think anything in the world which is not right, we should speak about.
Today's guest is a force of nature in every sense. Zahrah Khan is not just a powerhouse singer and actor, but she's also a fierce advocate for veganism and sustainability. It's so rare to come across someone who uses their platform and influence to speak up for those who can't, whether it's the planet or the animals. And you do it with so much grace, strength, and conviction. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for taking the time to come here to have this conversation, and welcome to Sustainability Australia.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for such a lovely introduction. I'm a very emotional person, so I was just like, oh, I'm going to start crying.
Save it for when we come to the animals, no, but
yeah, thank you so much. It's a very warm welcome,
this.
And definitely I think whatever I can do as a person, you know, to speak about whatever I feel is right, I would always, you know, come forth with it. Yeah.
And you've been such a strong advocate for a compassionate lifestyle. Tell me about that pivotal moment where you knew that veganism was not just going to be a part of your personal life, but also something you championed so publicly.
You know, it's a very beautiful question, and I think I have the perfect answer for it, because it wasn't like something I realized in like one moment. It was a little like journey that I took, you know. So I turned vegan about 3 months ago, to be exact, 2021, May or June.
I love that you remember.
Yeah, kind of, yes, I do. And I had turned vegan not by choice.
Okay.
You know, I was always very like conscious about like, you know, healthy food and, you know, always having things which are good for the body and all of that. But you know, when you're born in an environment and when you're growing up, you think there's certain things around you which are normal. Like eating meat all over the world is very normal.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh, you can't. So that's how I grew up as. For me, it was like, oh, protein, meat is protein, right?
Yeah. That's how we see it.
Exactly. So that's how I was growing up. I was having my typical, you know, your chicken, your mutton, this, that. Oh, biryani to bahut zaruri hoti hai, you know. It's like every household's thing, this, that. So all these delicacies, all these things. Somebody had recommended me that, you know, you should have vitamin D shots.
Okay.
They really help in kind of, you know, covering up all the symptoms of COVID. So even if you get it, you'll not be in such a bad state. So me being someone who never wants to fall sick, I'm very scared of it. I think I overdosed on the vitamin D, you know, like having too much of it. And
I've never heard of a vitamin D overdose like that.
Trust me, it exists. And if you have an overdose of it, it can really mess with your brain like chemicals.
Wow.
By the way. So this happened to me. I, you know, overdosed on vitamin D.
We do not recommend any listeners to try overdosing on vitamin D after this. Do not try this at home.
Yeah. So I had like, I probably had like too much. And I started feeling like, you know, mentally I was not feeling very happy. So I was like, what's wrong? Because I'm a very happy person, touch wood. You know, like nothing gets me down, no matter what's happening in life. I'm always very positive. And positivity for me comes through the fact that, you know, everything around me is good. I called my doctor. I said, you know, I'm feeling all these symptoms. So he said, why don't you do a blood test? You know, you'll figure out maybe koi vitamin ki deficiency ho sakti hai and all of
Definitely can't be vitamin D. So
I said, okay. So I did a test, and then it came in, my vitamin D had shot up to like, I think 120 or something.
Oh, wow.
And 40 tak healthy hota hai, the, you know.
So it's literally like 3 times as much.
Yeah, so it goes into toxicity. So I was like, what do I do, doc? This is not good. Like, because I'm feeling also very like, I started feeling very sick and tired and all of that. So he said, you have to like do something to flush everything flush it out of your body. So what do I do? He's like, firstly, like try to go on some like really healthy diet. So I said, I'm Googling it right now. So I'm a Google freak.
Google doctor.
Yeah,
to
I
the
know,
rescue.
Google everything. So I Googled it. I said, doc, it says, like a vegan diet would be really good. He said, yeah, that's a very good diet. Definitely do it for 10 days and then, your body will come into its normality and everything. And also I'll give you one pill which will help you flush out a lot of water from your body. So it'll help. So I said, okay, fine. And I was like somebody who loved getting onto something which would, be good for the body, be good for the health. So I said, chalo, 10
You remember,
days.
you were open to it. You're like, I'll try it if.
I was a little like, I'm going to miss my chicken and I have to weight train and this and that. So how is it going to be? But then I was like, Nini, I have to do this because the symptoms that I'm dealing with are like really, irritating and annoying. So I got onto the vegan diet and I remember 3 days after getting onto the vegan diet, I was feeling more energetic. I was feeling more rested. I was feeling better. And whenever I would go to the gym, my energy levels were at its peak, So it was a very different feeling. But then at the same time, कहीं ना कहीं mind में ये भी play हो रहा था कि शायद vitamin D बहुत ज़्यादा था,
Yeah.
So that is why now it's coming back to
Normal.
its normality. 10 days passed by and just like that I said, what, I'll stay on this diet for a little longer, it feels really nice. So I did that. Then came Eid.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear this.
And I didn't feel like eating meat, and I had told everyone. I said, "Listen, I really like this vegan diet, and I think I'm going to continue it and see how it goes. So I'm not going to eat meat." And I cook really well, by the way. I'm a very good cook. So I used to be cooking like niharis and biryani and aloo keema and lasagnas, everything. Roast chicken, turkey, this that, everything. So I'm a foodie plus I cook. So for me it was like everybody was like, nahi, ye to nahi kar payegi. All my friends were like, we'll see.
It's a phase. This
This is a
whatever.
phase and
It's
this is this and that. I said, no, I will not. So then Eid came. And everybody at home, makes really, like my mom makes really good paya and biryani and this and that. So she cooked all of that. Everybody came home. Everybody ate. I said, मैं तो नहीं खाऊंगी, I will not eat it. So everybody was like, अच्छा, wow, yeah, you're actually not eating. We're kind of, impressed and like shocked at the
Your
same time.
conviction.
Yeah. And even my mom came up to me, like, खा लो, चलो थोड़ा सा खा लो, कोई बात नहीं, आज खा लो, कल से छोड़ देना, I said, no, I don't want to eat it. I don't want to eat it. Everybody left. Okay. Now I'm sitting in the middle of the night. Temptation kicks in really hard. And I'm thinking, थोड़ा सा तो पड़ा हुआ है, खा लूँ, कुछ नहीं होगा, चलो ठीक है, आज खा लेती हूँ, कल से I'll let it be. While growing up, getting bad dreams or sometimes going to sleep and feeling thirsty in the middle of the night and all that, those used to be very normal things. But when I turned vegan, all of that stopped. I started sleeping better. I stopped feeling angry all the time. Like you feel sometimes you feel like angry or you feel irritated or you feel certain emotions, right? This all is very strongly related to what you're putting in your body.
Yeah, because you're ingesting someone's pain. I feel like when
Exactly.
you're eating that pain and whatever that animal has gone through.
Yes.
And if you're consuming that.
Yes, you're consuming that trauma.
Yeah.
So also I realized that my brain got foggy and clouded again when I woke up the next day, which to me was normal because that was the normal. Sometimes feeling like you're confused about something, or you wake up groggy sometimes, or you wake up and say, today I'm a little confused.
Nothing is making sense. I don't know why.
Yeah, you have those days, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I realized that all this time that I was vegan, I didn't feel all those things at all.
So your clarity, you honestly, like your
Yes.
mental clarity,
Yes.
emotionally, you felt calmer, all of those things.
So
you noticed
all
that.
of those things. So I said, yeah, this is really strange, So I said, I don't think I'm gonna have meat again. This feels really strange. But then at the same time, it was like very difficult to digest that, this can also be a truth.
No
You know,
puns
something-
related.
Yeah,
Digesting.
exactly. So I said no, I'm not gonna eat meat, and I don't think like it's for me. And then slowly, I started just like kind of sticking more and more strongly to it, and especially because I understood that the first wrapping of a layer was that it's not good for your body. That was the first stage. Then came along, maybe like again another year later, getting more involved in understanding
What it is.
what is happening to animals. Why did I feel that way when I consumed non-vegetarian food?
Yeah.
And then slowly you understand, okay, what happens to your body when you have all of this, and what's happening to who you're consuming.
Yes.
And when that stage came of understanding, when you're having milk, when you're having cheese, or when you're having, mutton or chicken, what is actually happening to them?
Did you watch any slaughterhouse footages?
I
You did?
did. I really did. And I made myself watch it. I was like, I have to see this because I have to understand that the next time I am tempted to have a non-vegetarian product, what is going to make me want to say no to it?
Wow. Okay.
That's important.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand that what you're standing for, do you really feel for it from within?
Yes.
Do you have a valid logical reason towards it? That is very important.
That's so cool that you've done that, because I've been vegan for 8 years and I can't get myself to watch any slaughterhouse footage because I know I'm gonna cry. I know I'm gonna get so
But it's important.
emotional about it. That's what everyone tells me, that you
It's
feel
important.
angrier about
Like I
these
can start
issues.
crying right now if I think about it. So if that means that my soul, my body, my mind feels so strongly about it, I like when I think about dairy farms. It's disgusting and it's so sad, and like how can you enjoy your milkshake?
Because people don't know where it comes from. People don't know how it's made.
Yeah,
And-
that's my number one thing as a vegan. I never like impose it on others, like anybody around me. I'll never be like, oh no, go vegan, it's good. I have another
Showing my
tactic.
phone cover. That makes sense.
Aw.
It's normal. It's like in everyone's faces.
Very
That's how-
good. No, I never like push people, you should become vegan, but I always tell them, this is where it's coming from. This is how it's happening, because that is it's important for you to just spread the awareness.
Absolutely.
Uske baad, if somebody still wants to go do something, that's on them. That's their choice, But for me, where I stand today in my career, what I'm doing, I have a voice. So I feel like it's important for me to at least put out that message that, this is where it's coming from. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
Now it's up to you, as adults to understand whether you want to be a part of that cruelty or not.
100%.
I was seeing a friend's live Instagram feed, and she went to a dairy farm. And this was the first time I found out that something like this happens, and it was horrible. So basically, like when cows are milking, they put the baby calf in front of them, and then they remove it, so the cow is like milking and stuff. So many times they say that if the calf dies or if the calf is slaughtered for wheel meat, they take its skin and they fill it up with hay and all of that, and they go and put it next to the cow just to make the cow feel that the child is there to smell basically the odor of their baby calf, because that's when they start releasing milk. And I saw that thing happening live on the feed, and the cow was crying. She knew
horrific.
that her baby is dead.
That's horrific.
She was crying. It is like rape.
It is. But that's
know?
what it is. It's artificially inseminating that cow for it to keep producing milk over and over again. And then you take the baby. But at the end of the day, it's a mother. That's what it is.
Yes.
And we're fighting for the entire world to drink cow breast milk. If you
Yeah,
put it
which is
the
not
way
meant
it
for
is.
you. It's not meant for you. You're meant for your mother's milk till the age of 2.5. Uske baad you don't need it. So,
But apparently lactose intolerance is a foreign concept.
In fact, this is my first podcast that I've ever come for. In my
The
head, I'm
amount
always
of
talking.
gratitude.
What?
I said the amount of gratitude. I feel so honored.
No,
Yeah.
no. I was very nervous about it. I said, पता नहीं यार मैं क्या बोलूँगी, मैं कुछ गलत तो नहीं बोल दूँगी. मैं
No,
कुछ,
you're doing
you know.
a fantastic job.
But it was
honestly.
scary.
Yeah.
It was scary because you're putting yourself out there about your thoughts and how you feel. And the problem with me is that I don't know how to be a certain way. I will just be as I am. That's one of my
And
biggest
that's the
problems.
best way. No,
It
I
is-
think
it
that's
is
the best way to be, because you're also part of an industry where everything is, kind of censored. It's kind of,
It is.
tailored to
yeah.
a certain...
And you feel scared कि कभी आप कुछ ऐसी चीज ना बोल दो जिससे people get offended, or people take it and turn it into something else. That is always a scare in your head. But even though I was scared and I was feeling like God knows what I'll say, but still I'm that person who always pushes myself. Kini, you have to do this. If you're putting it on your Instagram, if you're
Yeah.
talking about it, you eventually and if it's something you feel very strongly about, you have to go and face it.
And that's a power that you have. I think it's a power and a responsibility, whatever you might call it. But I love that you're using your platform for talking about something you feel clearly so passionately about.
No, I really
that,
do. I really do. I think anything in the world which is not right, we should speak about.
I
it's
wish
important.
more people followed suit.
I hope so.
on
I'm doing
that.
it. Hopefully, you're doing it.
I think we have to. That's what I mean. I think our voices need to be so much louder than the narrative that's out there, that's pushing the agenda.
Yeah.
And people get, all kinds of misinformation and
Yeah.
disinformation when it's not true.
Yeah, that's very.
So if we're not going to talk about it.
Yes.
I mean, someone has to start talking about it. for
Like a
people
lot
to-
of people say, vegan diets are very unhealthy. After a point, your whole body, there's a lot of deficiency which occurs in it, and this and that. And I'm like, that's not true.
No, 8 years, my blood test is like 100 and 100.
Yeah.
Honestly, like every
Yeah.
vital that you'll check.
आपका
it's-
प्रोटीन कम हो जाएगा, विटामिन B12 कम हो जाएगा. I'm like, आप तो मीट भी खा रहे हो, फिर आप सप्लीमेंट्स भी ले रहे हो.
But
आपके
the
क्या हाल
meat
है?
is, I mean, the cow is injected, they're fed B12, they're injected with
Yes,
B12. So they are
yes.
also given supplements for you to have B12. And the most natural source of protein is plant. Where is the cow getting the,
Yes.
the
Where
whatever
is it
animals you're eating? Where is it getting its
Gorillas,
protein from?
they're the strongest, right?
Elephants.
They're vegan.
Yeah, they are vegan. That is true.
They're vegan.
So, I mean, if you're competing in terms of strength or protein,
Yeah.
that's where animals are getting it from. So,
Yeah,
it's, just go to the source.
Exactly. But people don't understand that. I also feel like a lot of, the food industry plays a big part in it. I mean,
like just marketing and advertising as well.
They want to do that because how else are they going to make money?
Any other misconceptions you hear about, like because you proclaim it, you claim it so boldly? Are there any misconceptions that come your way, or any myths that you've had to bust over?
A lot of people would tell me, "Oh, you're Muslim, but like, how are you vegan?"
That's a big one, because we live in a country where I think food is about religion, politics,
Yeah.
culture, more than
Whereas
what it is.
actually it's not, because what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, what your choice of clothes are, what's your favorite color, I'm saying as basic as that, is your personal choice. You think God is gonna like get pissed at you because if you're not eating meat, or if you're not going and sacrificing,
Isn't it the opposite? Doesn't every religion promote kindness, especially
it does.
ahimsa?
That's what.
In so
that's
many
what.
religions,
That's what.
especially I guess Jainism and Hinduism,
Yes,
ahimsa is such
yes.
a big thing.
Yes.
And the cruelty, just considering the cruelty that goes on in these industries, I don't know.
It's very, very sad. In fact, it's also sad because there are a lot of people who play, on your head, on the general public's head. कि आपको ये करना पड़ेगा तभी जाके you'll get acceptance or this or that. And I'm not just talking this for my religion.
Yeah.
I'm talking for every religion. There's so many places where they're still like, sacrificing buffaloes. It's wrong.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stand for it. I mean, at the end of the day, do you think God needs that? God needs kindness. God needs you to, spread happiness in the world. God needs you to live a kind life. That's what every religion tells you to do. In fact, this is for Islam, but I think it's for every religion. If you read any book, they say it's a religion, but I think more than that, it's a way of life. It's teaching you to not do wrong. It's teaching you to do right. It's teaching you to how to behave with one another. Uh, if you talk about Islam, women rights, protection against child abuse, all those things are mentioned, But unfortunately, in today's day, all of that is covered up with a bunch of other, bullshit. And people will say things to you which you will think, oh, okay, that's part of our religion, but it's not.
Yeah.
Going off topic, but the fact that they say, in Islam, 4 marriages are like, it's fine. You can have 4 wives at the same time. It's not allowed. But nobody will talk about it. Nobody will stand up and say, no, that's not how it is. But the sad part is we have people sitting there who will claim to be, the what do you call it? The preachers of religion.
The
But
gatekeepers.
the gatekeepers or the preachers, whatever. But you have a book that says everything about your religion. Why don't you just go and read it? Like Islamically, Hazrat Ali?
No.
He was Prophet Muhammad's son-in-law.
Okay.
Okay, he was a great warrior. And he used to say that don't make your stomach a graveyard. If you want to have meat, don't have more than 3 meals over a period of 7 days.
This is written?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
There are so many God's names which we're supposed to chant. And in that it said that don't eat meat 72 hours before you chant them. So, kahin na kahin, you also have to have understanding. You have to understand that, obviously everybody's religion speaks to them in different ways, right?
But it's translated in different ways as well.
Yes, that also is a big issue. Like for instance, English or Hindi को आप exactly to the T translate नहीं कर सकते हो. Just like that, you cannot translate Arabic to Hindi or to Urdu or to English or to French or to any other language exactly to the T. So how will you understand, what is actually being said? You'll have to know the language. And I'm saying if you don't, basics तो समझ लो कि आपको किसी को मतलब don't harm someone. ये तो religion से भी नहीं related है, ये तो common sense है.
I love that. I'm just like, I love that. What is the Quran's stance or Islam's philosophy on consuming meat? Do you know where the Quran stands on consuming meat? So
basically, nowhere in the Quran does it say that you have to eat meat to be a practicing or a following Muslim. Nowhere does it say that. So, if somebody comes up and says, oh, you're Muslim, but you're vegan, they don't go hand in hand together. It doesn't make sense. It's bullshit. Sorry for the language.
Why do you think they're mutually exclusive?
The thing is, like, for instance, I went for Umrah, okay? I didn't consume any meat.
Does that make you a bad Muslim?
No, it doesn't. Because कहीं पे भी नहीं लिखा हुआ कि आप नमाज तभी पढ़ सकते हो अगर आप मीट खा रहे हो. Like, how? Nowhere does it say that. These are personal choices which people have.
I don't know if it's a personal choice. If there's a big term, right?
It's like saying, what's your religion? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Hindu. I'm a Jain.
Right?
Yeah.
You're
Jainism.
Jain.
Yeah.
Okay. So कहीं पे भी आपको ये बोल सकता है कोई कि आपको green color पसंद है तो आप अच्छे जैन नहीं हो. This is what it sounds like to me because I've educated myself well enough to understand, what the book says and how I'm living my life. In fact, like covering your head when we talk about wearing hijab, right? In the Quran it says you're supposed to dress according to the environment. What does that mean? Do you get that? Like you'll understand what it means, right? So
wow.
Yeah, so it's like you have to understand. It's just very unfortunate that we as people, and I'm talking for every being out there, we as people just rely on others to tell us. what we should do,
Without thinking
how
for
we should do
ourselves.
it, what we
Yeah.
should eat, what we're supposed to like, what we're not supposed to like. And in our culture, in our Indian culture, that also comes from our upbringing, you know, because हमें वो बचपन से बोला जाता है. But I feel like there needs to be a middle point. When you're, you know, mature enough, even the Quran says this, that when a child grows up and and I'm not saying grown up to like 30 or something, whatever age where you feel like you have, you know, you can see that your child is mature enough to understand right from wrong. At that point, you are not supposed to dictate them what to do.
They're supposed to think for themselves.
You have to let them make their own choices, clearly written in the Quran. You know? But I'm saying forget about the Quran. Just logically also, you can't enforce that on your kids also. You know, and you also at the same time have to understand that the world is changing. You have to understand right from wrong. You have to
Absolutely.
understand where we're going in terms of, you know, climate crisis, in terms of global warming. What is the need of the hour? You know?
And things have changed so much. Back in the day, we've done this for hundreds of years. You know, this is our culture, this is our that. But how differently we live back in the day.
those you know, those what do you call those back in the day Stone Age में क्या पहनते थे? वो पहन के फिर निकल जाओ आप बाहर.
What did we wear in the Stone Age?
I don't know.
Except
Leaves
that
or whatever.
rag or whatever.
Yeah. Then
what
wear
was
that
it in the
and
Stone Age?
be out.
Huh? No, we're not promoting wearing animal skin. No, it's a vegan
Because
podcast.
because we didn't have clothes, right? Today we have clothes. So are we still wearing animal skin? We're not.
Yeah. I mean, we are wearing animal skin.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
we can't wear denims or jeans made out of animal skin.
Yeah.
It's gonna be super uncomfortable. So, like, you have to evolve and you have to change with time and you have to understand and adapt to what is needed. And you have to adapt with only one rule, that you have to be considerate and kind
Yes.
to everything around.
Why is the animal sacrifice a ritual? What do you have to say about that?
I'll tell you. So, you know, this is something that even I've like searched upon a lot, because as I said, I'm always trying to find out, right? The only thing that I've seen and I think this is something which probably used to happen because at that time, people were not able to afford to eat a lot.
Okay.
You know, at that time, people, like even now in today's day, people can't afford to eat meat, right? So at that time, this used to be practiced, and it's a very strange and very beautiful story. Also, when I read about it, you know, that it was actually something which was put upon a prophet to sacrifice his son for God.
Okay.
Okay, it was like a test. That, okay, how much do you
Love
you know?
me.
Yeah, how much are you ready to listen to me? So when he said, what is the most precious thing to you in the world? He said, it's my son. So he said, okay, would you sacrifice your son to me? He said, yes. So when he was about to do that, instead of the son, there was a goat which appeared in front of him. Now, when they practice Eid al-Adha, actually the right way to practice it is that you're supposed to keep a goat for 1 year in your house. Not कि आप कल परसों बाजार से खरीद के ले आए and आपने उसको slaughter कर दिया and that's it. No. It is actually a way of teaching you that something that you are very attached to or which you can love, you can also lose. That was the essence behind it, you know? Because if you're told to keep like for instance, if you have a cat or a dog in your house and you've loved it and you've taken care of it, you've fed it.
I can't imagine that.
Right? So I feel like there's a learning in there. Again, I'm not somebody who's a Muslim scholar. I don't know. But I'm trying to take the sense from it. I'm trying to understand what it's trying to tell you. You know? कहीं ना कहीं वो आपको ये भी समझा रहे हैं ना कि, you know, it's something which your emotion comes into. So how are you going to, what are you going to take from it?
Yes.
Right?
The detachment.
Yes. There's so many things in it. But yes, it was told that, okay, if you're doing Qurbani, you're supposed to feed whatever you've sacrificed to all the poor people. So, you know, they can have a chance to kind of eat at that moment. But again, it has nothing to do with the fact that you're not a Muslim if you're not eating it.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
These two things are not correlated.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, like I go for Eid parties, I go for Diwali parties, I go for Ganpati, I go for everything, you know? And wahan pe, so many parties, they're having non-veg parties. Sometimes they're not having non-veg. But wherever I'm going, you know, I go with my belief, and I also at the same time, you know, respect everybody else's thought. Aisa nahi hai that I don't. But I do always pray and hope that, you know, all these festivities become vegan pro.
Some vegan option for you and you.
Not some vegan options, so everybody becomes vegan.
I wish your dream manifests in
I really
whatever
hope
capacity.
so. I really hope
I'd
so.
love to see that.
And it's also understanding, you know, in every religion, what are they trying to say in it? You have to understand that, and you have to logically make sense of it through what you stand for or what you believe in. Like what I take from Eid al-Adha is that you should feed people. So for me, it's like I don't have to feed them meat. I can go and feed them other vegetarian things.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make me like, you know, a bad Muslim.
No, I think the principle of giving, as you said, it was
Yes.
just about giving.
Exactly. You know, Javed Akhtar ji said something very beautiful once, that in a very strange way, you know, religion has only become like the enemy of people,
Yes.
you know, at times. Because we've only built so many do's and don'ts and this and that, when it is actually very simple, but we've made it complicated. And we've just brought it upon ourselves that, oh, I have to be the best Hindu or the best Muslim or the best Christian by following this, by doing this. No, it doesn't work like that, you know.
But we've forgotten humanity in the process.
Yes.
You know, we've forgotten compassion.
You
We've
have
forgotten...
being a good human being is the number one thing. How are you a good human being? By being compassionate, by
everyone.
being good to each other, you know, by being your neighbors. Help your neighbors. Your neighbors should help you. You know, these are very basic things.
Yeah.
But we're not doing that.
Not at all. And it's a country, we live in a country where like, oh, cows are sacred and we worship our cows and we do all of that.
And we're one of the, I think, top 5 to export cow
beef
meat.
and leather.
Yes.
Yeah. In the
Out
world.
of
So
the
where does that
country.
come from? You know?
That's what.
So it's not even that's what I mean. It's not a Hindu Muslim thing. It's not a religion thing.
Not
But
at
I
all.
think your love for animals and for us to just deny animal exploitation should just transcend religion.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
you know, that's what
it's
about.
beyond religion. It's got, I don't think it has anything to do with religion, because it's about common sense.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be a person who understands from right from wrong, and stop blaming it on religion, or stop, like, you know, using that as your tag. It can't be that. Like when somebody says, oh, you're vegan and you're Muslim, I'm like, again the same thing. I don't understand. Do you ever tell me you're Muslim and you're wearing jeans? No. You know?
Yeah.
So how does it make, like, for me it's like it's very silly. Even like when I hear about all these like Hindu Muslim things, or you know, it's very unfortunate. Like few years ago, there was these you know, things happening for Dalit riots and stuff, and I was petrified with this tagline of also, you know, calling people Dalit. I was like, we don't have that in America. We don't have that in England. Why do we have this in our country? Why is there so much of, like, you know,
Discrimination and
yeah,
othering of people.
Yes.
It's almost like, oh, I'm going to find every way you're different from me.
yeah,
I'm going to use that to
Yeah.
discriminate.
it's very like toxic, you know. And when that happens, I think kahin na kahin you also start feeling, oh, I'm superior to this one, I'm superior to that one, I'm this, I'm that. The other person will feel, I'm inferior to this one, I can't do this. It's so toxic, you know, for human beings in general. Why create a society like that?
I love that.
Why not try to be equals, and in a very beautiful way?
Yeah. I love your utopia for parties, but also for a society where all the parties are vegan and everyone just gets along no matter who they are.
Yes, where we would have rainbows and unicorns, I wish.
Oh, unhappy, frolicking cows everywhere.
Yes.
Would you, any advice for anyone who wants to try a vegan diet or vegan lifestyle for that matter? I wouldn't even call it a diet because, as we discussed,
You
it's so
know,
much more than that.
when you talk about the vegan diet, or anything that supports, heading in the right direction, I think more than the food industry or the governments or this or that, the system plays a very big part in it.
What do you mean by the system?
We the people. You know, uh, if we start saying no to things which are not right, if we start to, let's say, not buy products which are, not good for the environment, not good for animals, which are not vegan pro, eventually क्या होगा आप सोचो ना, वो ही food industry
Complete shift.
सस्टेनेबल प्रोडक्ट्स बनाएगी,
100%.
वही मटीरियल इंडस्ट्री सस्टेनेबल प्रोडक्ट्स बनाएगी, वही फूड इंडस्ट्री will come up with things to consume which are more vegan friendly, which are going to be, and not even just vegan friendly, it's good for the climate, it's good for what's happening right now, which is destroying our world in a very bad way. So we as a system need to go out there,
Demand for it, because you're right, it shifts the money. And that's in our
and
hands.
it's very easy if we get together and do that. You're doing it, I'm doing it, but we're a very small percentage at the moment.
Yeah.
But if everybody gets together and does it, ऐसा नहीं है ना कि मैं नहीं मिस करती eating meat, करती होंगी ना कहीं, अरे यार shit, I can't have biryani, chicken biryani anymore. But it's not worth having. It's like saying I'll murder someone and make chicken biryani.
That's what it
But
is.
I'm just feeling like, अरे यार वो तो cow है. But you have to understand ना, there's not the cow or the goat. It's a
Someone.
living thing. It's someone. The day we start comparing humans to other beings in an equal way, that day we will understand that this is not right and we have to stop doing this. That realization and that, I wouldn't say conditioning, but awareness needs to come in. Because abhi hum conditioned hue hai, unfortunately. So that needs to stop.
I love that. I think consciously, subconsciously is definitely seeped in.
Yeah, 100% it
for
has. 100%. I saw that documentary,
Seaspiracy. I
Yeah.
watched Cowspiracy first and I watched Seaspiracy. There's another one that's coming because we're talking about religion. There's Christpiracy.
I've already seen it.
Have you seen?
They were very kind enough. This was last year before it had released.
Yeah.
They sent me the documentary to watch.
I'm
Because-
not going to spoil it for anyone, but I'm just going to say it questions how Jesus would kill an animal.
Yes.
And what's the most ethical way of killing an animal.
Yes.
And it
Yes.
blew my mind.
Yes.
So whenever it comes out, I
Yes.
highly recommend
Yes,
everyone
it's
to watch
very
it.
beautiful. People should watch it.
What was your takeaway from that? Because it literally questioned everything.
Yes. The Quran says that. You have the right to question. You have to understand that what you are standing by, does it even make sense? So when your own religion, like for me, if my own religion is telling me to do that, and I'm very proud about the fact that I want to know everything, it's not like I'm like, हाँ ठीक है, ये culture में है तो ये करना है, ये we've grown up doing this तो ये करना है. नहीं, you have to know why. You have every right to know why, because what you're doing, your actions, they are giving that ripple effect into the universe.
I didn't know that. I didn't know about the den of thieves. I didn't know what the word dominion really meant. And it's not
Yes.
dominance over other animals. Where livestock, the word livestock and stock markets are capital, that the fact that that's related to animals. I didn't know any of that.
I don't want to give it away also, but that photograph they have, on the table when
Yeah.
and they zoom into it. And at that point you realize, oh,
I was telling you, mine was blown.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah,
we've been
yeah.
told,
Yes.
if all of that is a lie, and if you can go back to religious scriptures and really
Yes.
question
yes.
whether or not Jesus was vegan, and that's such a bold hypothesis.
And see, I'm saying whether Jesus was vegan or not also, na, you have to understand, आज की date में, by being vegan, how many, areas are you bettering? Including the inside of you.
Including your own
Literally.
self, yeah. Because your body is not a graveyard, as you said.
Exactly. So वो भी देखो ना.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that you watch Christpiracy. I can't. We're trying to host the premiere for them in India.
Ooh.
So when we do that, I definitely want you to come attend the premiere.
The
and see
director had reached out to me.
Cameron or Kip?
Yes,
Cameron.
Yes,
Yeah, very
yes,
sweet guy. I
yes.
met him at
very, very
vegan
sweet
camp
guy.
out.
So they reached out to me. They sent me, you know, the link and everything. I saw it and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I felt so. I was, in fact, you know, like, because I'm vegan, I was literally starstruck. Like, मुझे भेजा उन्होंने. Wow, I must be doing something good, you know. as a
Validation.
vegan. Yeah, that, you know, like, I had the opportunity to see this,
that.
you know.
Yeah.
So I really hope people see it and it opens their eyes.
Yeah, same. Because, you know, as someone who would never watch slaughterhouse footage, to watch the massacre that they showed in the end, and for that to happen in a country so close to India,
Yes.
it honestly was so shocking.
Yes.
Yeah.
It even happens in Assam as we speak.
Wow. Okay. And again, cows are sacred.
That's what's unfortunate, you know. People understand and still sometimes they're blind to it. But I think if we keep talking about it, you know, slowly the compassion will grow. The emotion will grow back. It's just also that the world has become so practical and so fast and everything is moving with such speed that, you know, we've slowly lost out on emotion, we've lost out on connection with each other, we've, you know, lost out on
even questioning things, as you said, like learning more about things and questioning the system and really, you know, knowing what is true, what is sold to you.
Yes, exactly.
Even that.
So we've forgotten to, like, take a second, take a breather, you know, spiritually connect with anything that you feel that, you know, brings your heart back to life. That's very important.
That's so true.
You know, like for me, faith is very important because it keeps my soul going. You know, prayer is very important because it always, you know, it keeps my heart alive. Because a lot of times we're so stuck in what's happening and we're so, like, practically involved in things that we forget about, you know, basic emotions. Whereas emotions are meant to be felt, you know, that's why
100%.
they're there.
Yeah.
But we stop feeling them because we want to, you know, turn our heart into some piece of rock. But when you do that, then you've lost connection with God.
That's so
You've
true.
lost that spiritual connection with whatever that makes you, you know, feel alive and makes you feel human. Do you know that actor, the one who was in Thor? What was his name? Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
Chris Hemsworth.
Thank you, Chris
now you've
Hemsworth.
seen in Thor the kind of body he has.
Yeah. Is he
You can
plant-based?
look it up. I swear, I kid you not. You can go look it up. To get into that shape and size and have that body, he went vegan.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's so cool. I mean, he looks
went
hot
vegan.
as hot AF in that movie.
Yeah.
But,
But yeah, he literally went vegan for this.
that's amazing. But there's so many, right? There's so many athletes. There were 7 or 8 like
Virat is vegan. Anushka is vegan.
He's not vegan anymore.
He's not?
No. Anushka is vegan.
He's not?
John Abrams vegan.
Yeah, John Abrams.
John is vegan.
Why is Virat not vegan?
That's a question. Camera. I don't know.
Like vegan anger now. Your wife is vegan. Why are you not?
I've heard he's not vegan, but I know John Abrams vegan. I know Meera Kapoor, I think.
I think she's vegan.
She's vegan, right?
Shahid is vegetarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, I know. Who else? Jacqueline?
No, I don't think. Is she vegan?
I think she's vegan.
I'll ask
She
her.
was at Vegan India conference, like talking very passionately about veganism.
Really?
So I think she is vegan.
When I finish from here, I'm going to message her and ask
Please,
her.
I
Because
think
I'd be
she's
really
vegan.
happy to know what
Tell
she
her, yeah, because she was at Vegan India conference for sure.
Oh.
And she's been promoting veganism. So
That's
I think
amazing.
very openly.
You know, see, like how you're telling me that this one is vegan.
Yeah.
So if you go on my Instagram, it says I'm vegan. This is one of the reasons I've put it there. Like a lot of people tell me, why have you put this? You know, it's like, it's a normal thing for you, know. I'm like, yes, but it is not something which is practiced so much
Openly.
in our world right now,
That's
right?
true.
So it's important for people to know that I am. That's one of the reasons I've put it
And
there
I
in my
love that.
bio.
I love that because I have that in my bio, and so many people advise against it that I think you'll attract a lot more suitors and matches if you tell them you're not vegan because you're shutting half of them out just
It's
by.
fine.
Yeah, I'm
We'll-
okay with it. Whoever has to come will come.
if somebody loves you enough, then they'll understand, it's for a good this thing, and they might just convert to veganism.
So any boy in line, you have to turn vegan for this beautiful girl here.
Please call me. I'm waiting.
I had Arvind Krishna on the show.
Okay.
Do you know him?
No, I don't. Please tell me.
Arvind he's a pro athlete, like pro basketball player and actor from the South. Very passionate vegan, mission aligned. And we had him on the show and we spoke about nutrition, health, fitness, all of that. And I told him, listen, 82 or 87%, it was 82% vegans are men. And no, 82% vegans are women.
Ooh.
So I'm like, can you please increase that pool for me?
Yeah.
So we get a few more men, so I have a bigger dating pool to,
Of course.
just like
But
more
I'm so happy that women are vegan. This means that they do have more of an understanding.
Yeah, we're just more empathetic.
Sorry, I'm very women pro. So I'm very happy that we as women have taken that initiative to, kind of be out
spread
there.
that. Yeah, but we need our boys coming in as well.
In fact, I've seen some crazy vegan activists when it comes to dairy farming.
Yeah, there's
out
lots
there, and mostly are women, and they have been out there with pictures and boards, and some of them have worn things, they've worn these bras which are bleeding.
I've seen those. Yeah, street activism. I've seen a lot of that.
But it's true.
Yeah.
It's like you're not painting a beautiful picture. You're just saying as it is.
People can't see that.
Exactly. So if you can't see that, do you realize there's like blood in your milk? It's literally that.
It's exactly as you said. It is what it is. A glass of milk is blood because that's where it's coming from. It's not humane.
Exactly.
It's not, people think you're not killing the cow in the process. But the dairy
You're killing
industry.
her every day. If you ask me, more than the, meat industry, the dairy industry is worse. It's horrible.
Why do you say that?
Because kahin na kahin aap, you're slaughtering an animal and they're done with, right? In the dairy industry, they're dying literally every few hours or every day. They're dying, and then on top of that, they're seeing their calves like literally being snatched away from them. It's so sad. I had seen one video where in the dairy industry, apparently the male calves, they're shot.
Yeah, they are.
When they're just, I think, a day or two old or something like that, they're shot.
Here they're starved to death.
So imagine, एक होता है ना कि you're in pain, आपने बोला चलो मुझे मार दो, खत्म करो. But in the dairy industry, it's happening every day to them. It's torture. It's like somebody stabbing you every day.
What do you say to people who say that, but I make sure that the calf has had the milk and, it's just the excess that we take and we treat them really nicely.
Would you feed your breast milk to a calf? After feeding it to your child? That's how crazy it sounds to me.
I'm so glad someone is just a moment off camera, but I'm just so glad someone is saying it exactly like it is because that's what we need to hear.
You wouldn't do that, right? So then why do you expect another being just because you feel, again, you feel that you're superior to them because you're apparently running the world. You feel you're superior to them, so you have the, the past to do anything to them. No, it's wrong. You don't. You just believe that you do, but I'm a big believer of karma. And I feel like, and it is coming back. In 50 years, will we be able to survive as human beings on this planet Earth?
It's one of the reasons I don't know if I want to have children. I question that. I don't know.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
maybe firstly that I don't have a man figured out, but also because I don't know if I want to have
because
a
you
child.
feel like when you love your children, right? When you have a child, you put it out into the world, you want it to be in a safe environment, in an environment that it's going to grow up and be healthy in, protected in, they'll be able to live their lives and fulfill their dreams. But I'm sorry, 50 years from now, will that even exist?
Not at the rate that we're going.
Exactly. So you're digging your own grave by doing these horrible things in the world. Why do these natural disasters happen? I think it's like Mother Nature, like,
Revolting, yeah.
yeah, crying out and saying,
sure.
stop it. But people don't understand.
I mean, there's so many reasons, right? But I think the fact that we know but we're not acting says a lot about
we're
the way.
behaving blind.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it really makes me mad that something like an unjust thing happens, whether it's to a human or whether it's to an animal. We do speak about it on social media. We do post it, I do the same thing. I do post about it. I'm here today. I'm talking about it. But I feel like I wish there was more I could do. I wish we could stop it. I really feel that at times. And I feel very, very bad about it, that it's not in my hands.
I think kind of is because it starts there. It starts with the conversation. It starts with awareness. It starts with, more and more people coming together. So it becomes a movement.
I feel like we're still so far behind now when it comes to spreading awareness, because I feel like hum kar rahe hain, but when will it actually
It's not happening fast enough.
That's my frustration as a vegan.
Yeah. No, you obviously want cruelty to end right now. As you said, if you would compare it to humans, being exploited in that way, you'd want that exploitation to start right away.
Yes.
But for some reason with animals, we're like, let it continue. Slowly, maybe one day we cut it, maybe now, maybe then. But why is it not immediate? Why is it not right now?
Yeah. But again, as I said, it will only come through the system. Once
Power
the system, stops functioning the same way that they have been for centuries, and put a stop to that and actually start going in reverse. Don't expect the government to do it. Don't expect the food industry to do it. You have to do it.
But we are the government. Government is people, corporations are people,
but people don't
systems
understand
are
that,
people,
When there's an issue, they'll blame the government. अरे government ऐसा कर रही है, इन्होंने टैक्स बढ़ा दिए, इन्होंने ये कर दिया, इन्होंने वो कर दिया. अरे आजकल पता है खानों में कितने केमिकल्स हैं, ये है, प्रोसेस्ड है. मत खरीदो ना. Be conscious about it. If there is a certain percentage of people who are conscious about it, who are doing that, then what is different about you? Why can't you do it?
Yeah, it's just the way, that's what I'm telling you. It's like, what it is and just like acting on it right away and trying to change, where things come from.
Correct.
But I hope it happens, because every time I put something out, yesterday there was a video on ghee and Krishna and how Krishna, maybe had to steal milk. And why was Krishna stealing milk if there's so many, cows? So it means it's taking from someone but yeah, there was this video and then everyone started going crazy in the comments. But it's been in our culture. We've had ghee forever. We've been drinking milk for centuries. It's so healthy for you. You're spreading misinformation. You should be censored.
No.
Like,
but I feel really happy that you're putting it out there.
No, without backlash, but yeah,
it's fine.
That's the
backlash is because everybody's so comfortable in that zone, na. कि अरे नहीं, and what has been fed to you, you've been conditioned a certain way. But आपकी conditioning तभी will come to an end na, the day you start questioning. Maybe you're saying ghee is good for you, but every day if you're gonna have it while some animal is being tortured, think about it. Is it actually good for you?
Yeah. I mean, it has saturated fat. It has the highest amount of saturated fat. So any other oil is better than ghee. Yeah. But even apart from that, you're right.
Yes.
I started with the animal exploitation. Why are you justifying us using animal products when we live in a world where we absolutely don't have to or don't need to?
Yes.
And as we were saying, that goes beyond the diet, that goes beyond what we consume. But for me, it's been a learning curve. It's been a journey, at least in terms of giving up leather, giving up wool.
That's a very good
not
thing.
Supporting any animal industry. I gave up horse riding. I shouldn't say I gave up. It's because it hasn't felt like giving up for me. It's never felt like I've compromised on something and sacrificed something. But
the normal
I stopped supporting it, I guess. I stopped participating in it.
Yes.
So started with horse riding. I hated SeaWorld. I always hated SeaWorld.
So
it's a little tank that
any
that being is in.
Animal or creature being entrapped.
Yeah.
And out of their natural habitat is just it's criminal.
How do you feel about using bags that you already own? How do you feel about, leather bags or clothes that have animals?
This is a very good question, and I know, everybody must feel when they go vegan that we have these things, what do we do with it? But, my simplest answer to you on that would be that once you're conscious about it and once you know about it, that, this is what you support and all these things which are non-sustainable and which, are not cruelty free, you stop buying them. That's where it starts.
Yeah.
What you have, ठीक है, you can, it's your personal choice whether you want to keep it, or maybe if you don't connect to it anymore, you can most likely give it away, you can sell it off, you can do whatever you want, that's your personal choice. But once you stand for veganism and you know that this is how I am, this resonates with me, after that, don't then
Support those industries.
yes,
Yeah.
just don't
Buy into
support
that.
them, don't get into them, from there on your journey starts. So don't like kill yourself for it. Okay, but in the past too, you've eaten meat also.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
We've done all sorts of
Yeah,
things in the past that we don't do anymore, right?
Exactly. And it's all about, like, we as human beings also, we might be committing so many sins, but as long as we are, asking for forgiveness, or we're realizing that what we've done was not right, and we have repentance, it's a new you.
I love it. I definitely want to talk about Bollywood. I want to talk
Please,
about
shoot.
your singing career.
Yes.
Do you prefer being a singer or an actor?
I love both.
You love
I
both?
get this question so many times, and it's like somebody asking me that, which hand do you prefer, left or right? It's
So
like
it goes
that.
together. For you,
They
it's
really go
always
hand
been
in
about
hand
the
for me.
performance, the being a performer,
Yes,
whatever that
I
might
love
mean.
being a performer, and it's not just because, like, so it's though it's very strange. My great grandmother was a singer actress.
Yeah,
She started
fourth generation, right?
Yes, she
Yeah.
started in the first Heer Ranja. My grandmother was in A.K. Kardar Shah Jahan as a singer actor. My mom did Nikah as a singer actor. I didn't do it because they've been doing it. It is something I genuinely felt very passionate about. Maybe because the art was in the genes, But my mom always told me this. She said, if you want to be in the industry, if you want to do this as your career, only do it if you're passionate about it. You know, if you really feel, like really you wake up with excitement in the morning. I want to go on a set. I want to shoot. I want to go in the studio. I want to record a song. I feel connected to music, and that's one of the reasons that I am a part of this career. I feel very passionate about it. I live, breathe, want art all the time.
That's the only way you can sustain yourself, I think, through this.
I'm very passionate as an artist. My soul is of an artist. I need music around me. I need storytelling around me. I write as well. So for me, this is
You write your own songs as well?
No, I don't write my own songs. I mean, I do have a few songs which I have written and kept, but nothing that I have written or done has kind of released. Yeah, here and there, little things I have co-done, but there's a commercial side, and then there's obviously stuff
a personal side.
I'm personally working on at the moment. Hopefully, I release it soon, but this is what I love doing. I'm very happy being in that space. I love being on a set. I get very sad when they say pack up. No.
I want to continue.
Yeah, I want to continue. I love it. I'm very passionate about it.
Yeah.
And one thing which my mom always told me is that whenever you're on a set or whenever you're working, with people from your field, always make sure that you're so positive and so in it that when you go back home, people say, no, we want to work more with her, because the environment is like that.
How you treat people and how you make them feel.
Yes,
at the end of the
it's
day.
very important. And also, art is such a, I wouldn't even say field. It's an emotion that has to be dealt with a lot of softness. If you're gonna be angry, or if you're gonna be upset or throw tantrums or be this or that, it's not gonna sink in the way it should. It has to be, it's like a child. So you have to deal with the art inside you like that. Very gently, very beautifully. You have to nurture it like that. So when you're around people also, my mom always says, when you walk out of that vanity or when you walk out of your house to go do anything which is related to your career, leave your ego at home.
That's a great advice.
That's very important. And I always do that. For me, it's never like if I go somewhere, I've arrived or this or that. No, I always want to be as normal as possible. That's my number one agenda. No matter, you know, how hard I work, how successful I become in the future, or whatever happens, that is something I always want to stick to.
Yeah. But I felt that the second you walked in as well. You know, it was the first time that we're talking, I felt comfortable instantly.
Thank
I feel like there was.
Thank you. Thank you so
I love
much.
that. So I think you've definitely taken that advice.
Yes, I have
from
very
him.
strongly. And it's helped me a lot in keeping my head in the right space. You know, I never let anything get to me too much, whether it's something successful or whether it's a failure. It's very neutral, you know. Like I have a teacher who I refer to as my guruji. You know, so he always tells me, he said, you know, in life you have to keep everything very neutral. Don't be too excited, don't be too low. Be neutral. Because when you're neutral, nothing will hit you, you know, from that energy. Like if you're neutral, if negativity is hitting you, it'll bounce back in a very neutral way. If positivity is also hitting you, and sometimes, you know, when you're positive or something good has happened, it gets to you. You know? So if you're neutral, that will also hit you in a very neutral way. So it's very important to always keep your aura, keep your energy very neutral.
Your experience as a woman working in male dominated industries, both in singing and in acting, has there been any gendered experience in how you navigate through these industries as a woman?
You know, it's not like somebody's come up to me and said, oh, you're a woman, you can't do this. Aisa nahi hai. But if you see, when we hear songs, they're more male dominant. There are very few songs, or if there are, which are female led, they'll be item songs. Right?
That's so true.
Which I'm not saying is bad. Women are beautiful. They should be celebrated. I think they're sexy, they're hot. All of that is there. But it's
that fine
just
line
not
between,
that, na?
you know, celebrated and being objectified.
Yeah,
There's such
like
a fine
women
line
are always
between.
put in two categories, unfortunately. One is they're hot, they're beautiful, they're sexy. And the other is, acha, you know, now she's old or she's a mother or she's this or that.
Yeah.
You know, which is very sad.
Yeah.
Even though times are changing, people are kind of, you know, moving on with that. But it's a very slow process. You know, behind every woman's back, no matter how successful they are, but once they get into that, you know, this thing that, oh, they're married or they've had children, unfortunately, you know, people do start talking behind your back, said, oh, now she's looking older. No, it sucks. It's horrible.
Have you
know?
faced that?
I haven't faced that because I'm not married yet. but you know, I hear it.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel bad about it because I look up to those women, because I feel like they're strong women, they're empowering, they've done such great work, you know, and to suddenly be thrown off the bus because of that. But one person I really look up to, and I really feel like, you know, she really made like a change, you know, as much as she could, is Kareena Kapoor Khan. You know, she's had her kids, she's still working, but you have to have those guts to do that.
But
Because
also
you're
support,
pushing,
right?
yeah.
Your partner, everything. Like,
Yeah,
there's
a
so
lot of
much
it
at
matters.
play.
But kahin na kahin, it is also your own journey.
Yeah.
No matter how much anybody supports you, physically also you need that support, na? So you have to do your workouts, you have to be a certain way. Then you have these kids also. Then obviously, you know, women who've had children, there's so many body changes that happen. We as, you know, young women only, when we're on our cycle every end of the month,
Oh boy.
we're going crazy, you know, we're going through shifting hormones, and we're having cramps, and we're getting hot and cold flushes, so many things. Like I'm a PCOD patient, you
Oh,
know?
same. The mood swings.
Yeah,
Like
so
everything
it's
that comes with
horrible.
it.
So if we're going through that, somebody who's delivered a whole human being out of their body,
I can't imagine.
they're definitely, and at that moment they have to also like take a break from their work.
Yeah.
You know, like a good friend of mine who's in the music industry is a C-score. She had a beautiful baby boy just now. She had to take that break, and she unfortunately, you know, during that time, she was like, I've gained weight also, but now I have to lose it also. So it's much more tougher on women, you know, but at the same time, it is a male dominant industry. It is more male led, and I feel like, yes, I would really like to see more women also be, doing more work the way that the men are in the music industry and in the, acting industry. It's not the way that it should be, and I really hope it is. But at the same time, aisa nahi hai that they're mistreating you, or they're, but it's just unfortunately the way it is, and I really hope it changes.
Me too.
Especially with music, there are not a lot of female led, like, solo songs, or like more like equally divided duets either, so I hope that happens.
I've had such an interesting week with music because we've had Prakriti and Sukriti. We had
Nice.
Raja Kumari yesterday. So we've had
Nice.
such great conversation about music and equity in
Wow.
music. And,
Wow.
as you said, just supporting more female artists and seeing them out there, like mentoring them, training them, but also, just supporting their careers so we can have massive female pop stars coming out of India.
Yes, that's
So
very
I'd-
important, because there needs equality comes in when you see a painted picture equally. Unfortunately, it's not right now. But I think women are strong enough. They know how to stand up for themselves, and we are kind of headed in the right direction, starting with veganism.
Love it. Wave that flag
Being
as
the
high as possible.
most percentage,
Boys, we need more men, as
Huh?
we said.
We-
In that,
We do.
that equity, we need more men.
We
So,
do,
yeah.
but at
even
least,
for
for a
ourselves.
good cause, women have
Yeah,
taken the
for
first
sure,
stand.
for sure.
That's a very proud feeling.
Love it. All right, we're going to do a very quick rapid fire.
Yeah, let's do it.
If your songs were sentient, which one would be most likely to start a rebellion?
Oh my god.
If any of your songs were human, which one would be like the naughtiest, most rebellious one?
Well, okay, so Kusu Kusu is a
You
huge hit.
have to sing a part of it, obviously.
Of course. You want me to do it now?
Yeah, now it's no better time.
दर्द दिल की राहत तू, धड़कनों की मन्नत तू, हुस्न का दरिया हूँ मैं और मेरा साहिल तू, कुसु 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 तेरा, सुकून सुकून नहीं मेरा.
Wow, I love that. I wish you'd sung the entire interview, but that was so sexy. That you've got such
Really
a
tried to
sultry,
slow it down as
sexy
much as
voice, and you
possible.
just like swapped. You switched immediately.
Thank you.
So that would be your most rebellious.
Yeah, because it's a song that's done really well, and probably it would hit like fire.
Love it. If you could telepathically communicate with one animal, which animal would that be?
Specifically cats.
Cat?
And specifically my cat July. I'm obsessed with him. He's my son.
There are animal therapists, so I know there are people who kind of translate what your animal is trying to tell you and have like a full-on conversation with you. You
I
should
know what he's
definitely
trying to
do
tell
that.
me all the time. He's
What do you think what would your cat tell you? If your cat could speak, what would your cat tell you?
I think he would tell me that I've grown up. I'm a 30-year-old man. Stop treating me like, I'm a 5-year-old little baby, because I'm not. Because every time I'm trying to smother him, he's just looking at me like this, like I've grown up. Like relax. Relax.
What life advice would your cat give you?
Oh my god.
Just looking at your life and like
Stop eating so much all the time. Because like he's always just seeing me and I'm sitting and I'm eating. I love food.
I mean, you're eating vegan food, so it's fine.
Yeah,
it's okay.
but still, yeah,
it's
I'm
fine.
like, stop it. Like, where does all this food
So
go?
if you weren't a singer actor, who would you be? Chef?
If I?
If you weren't a singer or an actor, who would you be?
Oh my god.
What would you do?
I would definitely want to be somebody, who would be doing something helpful in the environment for sure.
Yeah?
Because as passionate as I am, about my art, I'm equally that passionate, about the things I want to stand up for. So definitely, yeah, something.
I
in
see you
that
doing that, but I think you've also found a way to combine the two, right? You found a way to speak up about it, but also pursue art at
because
the same
I think,
time.
let's say, if I was just a normal human being who was not in the limelight, I would still be doing what I'm doing. But definitely, because the shoes that I'm in and I have a certain amount of audience, it gives me a good platform and a medium to reach out to them about all these things, so I can spread more awareness. So why the hell not?
Love it. A Bollywood celebrity you turn vegan or you think could easily go vegan but hasn't.
I think Shahid is vegetarian,
Yeah.
right? I think if somebody sits him down and really, like gives it to him as it is, he would turn vegan.
He would turn vegan?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's a
because
petition for
I've heard
Shahid.
he's very spiritual.
Yeah.
So
So it's a petition for Shahid to go vegan.
please,
It's,
Shahid, go vegan. Let's
Love
do it. And I would want Virat to turn vegan, back to veganism again. I was very
also
proud that
a
the couple was vegan.
That's gonna come back for sure. Go to vegan comfort food.
Oh my God, go to vegan. This is something which someone had introduced me to when I newly turned vegan. I love those Beyond Meat burgers.
Oh, same. I was born that I was raised vegetarian, so for me the texture of meat was so weird, right? To have mock meat, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this. The smell, the texture,
Yeah.
and now I think it's just a brain switch that there's no animal product in it.
Yeah.
So I love it. Like now I'm just getting used to.
It's my cheat kind of this thing, because we have mock meats and they're really tasty, but I actually try to avoid mock meats also.
Okay.
Because
Whole
I feel
foods,
like it's
plant-based?
processed.
Yeah.
I try to stick to our Indian food.
So what's your favorite vegan Indian food?
Dal chawal.
Dal chawal is the go-to
And no
with
ghee ka tadka. Specifically. Because I don't want people saying, acha.
dal chawal,
Yeah,
she's dal
but I
chawal.
love dal chawal.
Same.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, I grew up in Kolhapur, so bhakri, bengan sabzi, bengan bharta.
Yeah. I love bengan.
pitla,
I love fried
or-
bengan, which is a Bengali. What is
Yeah.
it? I think a bengan bhaja or something like that. It's called
What?
bengan bhaja, right? Yeah.
Bengan bhaja. Okay.
Yeah, I
Never
love
tried
that with dal and rice.
That sounds
My
delicious.
favorite.
That sounds absolutely delicious.
It is.
Favorite vegan dessert?
Favorite vegan dessert? I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but I don't mind having like halwas.
Can't say I relate. I have a massive sweet tooth. So,
Really?
yeah.
Or I like making vegan kheers.
You make vegan kheer at home?
Yes, I do.
I have to try you making food for sure.
Oh,
I think
of
you
course,
sounds
I would
like you
love
make
to,
incredible
anytime.
food. But if your music could cure one global problem, what would that be?
One global problem. I wish climate crisis.
Love
Because
it.
that is
100 points to you for that.
if that happens, then we'll have a chance to live.
Solves everything. I think pretty much solves
Yeah,
everything. One vegan celebrity you could collaborate with.
Miley Cyrus,
She's
Billie
not vegan.
Eilish.
Billie Eilish is vegan. Miley's
Miley
gone
is.
back.
She's gone back?
Yeah, gone back. And she said that on the Joe Rogan podcast. I mean, I was like, why would you do that? Why would you give him more meat? Fake meat,
I
fodder.
want to do vegan Miley because I really like her.
Okay, Billie Eilish
Yeah,
then?
yes.
Billie Eilish.
Even
okay,
I think Ariana Grande is.
she's vegan, yeah.
She's vegan.
She's vegan.
Yes,
So I think that's okay. So Ariana and Billie Eilish will leave Miley out of there for not being vegan
I hope she
anymore.
comes back. Come back.
One myth about veganism you could debunk forever.
That it doesn't have enough protein. The diet doesn't have enough protein, which is bullshit. That's not true.
I mean,
That's not true at all.
plants are a complete source of protein.
They are.
And that's
100% they are. Gorillas, look at their muscles. They can take on 10 men.
comes back to the gorillas. I love
Yeah.
it. Anything you'd like to tell anyone who's afraid of trying veganism or, is almost there, not fully there on that journey yet? What has that journey meant for you? Anything that would help someone transition?
I would like to tell them that firstly, identify and understand why you want to turn vegan. Only turn vegan if it's for the right reasons. If it's for a diet, then you'll probably be on it for a bit and you'll go back. But vegans are vegan for the cause of what is happening in the world. It's because they stand for something that is right. So only turn vegan if you understand it fully and understand why people are vegan and why it is important to be vegan. Otherwise, don't, because otherwise it's not gonna stick with you.
Yeah, your why has to be strong enough.
Yes, your why has to be strong enough.
We've got two left, last two. The biggest life lesson or something that you've learned the hard way.
Something that I've learned the hard way. Wow, I'm thinking.
What
I
would,
think I wouldn't. Hard way. I don't know if it's a hard way.
but something that you know now that you know you wouldn't do as like say a 16 year Zara wouldn't do that,
I
knowing what you know
I
now.
wouldn't. Well, could kind of could be the hard way also, but it also feels very beautiful as well. I'm at a stage in my life where I've become very comfortable being on my own. You know, and that obviously comes through while you're growing up, you'll meet friends or you'll have heartbreaks, or you'll go through situations where you'll feel alone at times. Everybody goes through that, right? But when you transition into being alone but not feeling lonely, and being okay with it, and still feeling strong and not feeling like your strength has been stripped away from you just because you're standing alone, I think that is the most beautiful thing, you know? And I'm at that stage in my life and I
Yeah.
feel really good about it. Like, I love spending time with myself. I love being on my own. I feel very like comfortable. And when you start feeling that, it is the most like, I think, most empowering feeling in the world.
Wow. I honestly felt like you were speaking to me, like that message was for me because I am 29 and there's so much marriage pressure. But reaching that point where I'm like, I'm
You should meet
so
my mom.
comfortable. I really should. Yeah, just I'm so okay being on my own. I'm so happy with what I'm doing. I feel so fulfilled.
Yes.
That the partner is a want
See,
and not a need.
that's the most beautiful thing you said, because what happens is, in our culture, marriage is portrayed like it is your life.
Yeah.
It is
It's
not
the
your
end all
life.
be all. That's the
It is a
goal.
part of your life. Your partner is not your life. Your life does not revolve around them. They are a part of it. And same for them. Because the minute, those lines are blurred, then things become very toxic. Then you lose your identity. The other person in front of you will lose their identity. That balance needs to be there.
Yeah.
And you will find your person when it's time, and when the universe thinks, okay, this person
This
is
boy
ready to.
tried to go vegan here, have him.
Yeah, but just because like you don't have somebody at the moment doesn't mean your life is over, or oh my god, what am I going to do? No, there's so many. There are other things in the world that should be done and can be done than just being married to someone.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to have a partner, it's beautiful to have companionship, but only have it when you are satisfied, within yourself, and when you're comfortable with yourself.
I love
Because if
that.
you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody. Trust me on
100%.
that.
I think so many women needed to hear that. So many, I know, I mean, everyone, I guess, but women go through that pressure
Yes.
about biological clock and
Yes,
whatnot
yes,
and
yes,
being
yeah. I know it.
unmarriageable
There's a
after
lot
a
of
certain
pressure in
year. And
today's day about so many of these things.
Yeah.
But people are not realizing the biggest achievement is to be firstly okay with yourself. Because if you're not okay with yourself, how are you going to be okay dealing with another person sharing your bed?
That's so true.
That's
Yeah.
why most of the time a lot of relationships don't work out, marriages go for a toss, you have children and you're getting divorced, and then imagine the impact that's creating on those kids who are going to be the next generation to come. It's a
Love it.
ripple effect of everything.
Yeah. As a,
Starts with veganism. First be vegan.
definitely helping our cause for sure.
Yes,
But thank
yes.
you. Thank you for that.
Of
My
course.
last question to you is what does sustainability mean to you?
Sustainability to me is standing up for the right things. That's where it starts. That's the most important thing. It's the thought of standing up for a good cause, for the right reason, um, for standing up for something or someone which doesn't cause pain. That's where sustainability starts for me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for your heart, your empathy. I know so many people see the glamour. So many people see what you portray, but I hope this conversation lets people see who you really are on the inside,
I
which
hope
is such
so.
a soft, kind-hearted,
Thank
empathetic human being, doing the utmost for the animals, trying to do the utmost for the planet, learning along the way, unlearning
Of course,
quite a
yes,
lot as
yes.
well, doing
Because
it
nobody's
imperfectly.
perfect, you know.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
wearing that with such pride,
Thank
and
you.
proclaiming it as well, claiming it boldly, even though a lot of people will shy away from even writing the word vegan on their bio, but embodying that in such a beautiful, passionate way.
It's just about feeling, right about what you stand for. Because I know that whatever I stand for is not hurting anyone. Is not causing pain to anyone. Is not stealing from anyone. You know. So I feel proud about it. And even if people wouldn't know this side of me, which thanks to you now today they do, as it's my first podcast
I love
ever,
it.
where I've spoken
Love
about I
it.
think everything that I feel for.
I didn't expect to be such a vegan, but we definitely bonded over that. Yeah, for sure.
But it wouldn't matter to me even if people wouldn't know, as long as I can give the message out of what is right, and as long as I can stick to this, and live my life, through it. I think that is more important to me, because I know that along the way, the journey that I'm going to be going through, it's going to be affecting everybody around me, and that effect will have some positive effect on whether one person or 10 people or whoever, and that's what matters to me the most.
Love that. Thank you so much for doing this with me. And
Thank you
you
for
have
having me.
proven that compassion is the ultimate power move. So thank you for
you.
what you do. And I hope your voice keeps getting louder and louder,
Thank
because we
you.
know the planet needs it and the
Yes.
animals need it.
Yes.
So thank you for everything that you
Thank
do.
you for having me.
Thank you. This is so much fun.
Yay! I'm
Wow.
happy.